Welcome to something to talk about.
Hi, welcome to Something to Talk About. My name is Taco, and I'm here to talk about A Song of Ice and Fire character and compare him to the show counterpart from Game of Thrones. And we're talking about Jory Cassel. Y'all remember him? And yeah, if you don't know what's going on here, this is what's going on here. Definitely spoilers for the books and absolutely for the show because he's in both. So yeah, how's it going? My name is Taco. If you've never met me before, welcome. And if you're still here after you've just seen my overall cadence and heard my annoying voice, well, welcome again. Thanks for sticking around. A lot of people don't make it this far. Go ahead, click like, subscribe if you want to see more. I have a ton of videos. All right, I do this hobby way too much. Okay, it's unhealthy actually. So yeah, so let's talk about Jory Cassel, and so we're going to talk about the house. Then we're going to talk about his show version, and then we're going to talk about the books. And yeah, it's going to be a lot longer than I initially thought. So that's why I don't want to waste any more time. I just want to do it. So yeah, spoilers for sure. All right. House Cassel. House Cassel is a minor house of the north in service to the Starks of Winterfell. Their sigil is 10 white wolf heads on a gray with a black border. Yeah, I mean, they saw the one direwolf of the Starks and they're like, oh, we can do better. Although these are just normal wolves as far as we know. So instead of one direwolf, they got 10 regular wolves. Who would win in that fight? I mean, I'm assuming the 10 regular wolves because there's 10 of them, but I don't know, man. Direwolves are huge. Should I do that as a poll? Should I just say who would win in a fight? Cassel sigil or Stark sigil? All right. Martyn Cassel, or as I call him, Martyn Cass, was killed at the Tower Joy in the Red Mountains during a battle with Red Mountains of Dorne. During the battle with 3 members of Aerys, the Mad King's Targaryen Kingsguard, and Lord Eddard Stark buried him there in a cairn. Yeah, he never made it home. Poor Martyn Cass. But now we're going to talk about his son. First, the show counterpart of his son. So, yeah. The television adaptation Game of Thrones, Jory is portrayed by Jamie Sives. What's up, Jamie? Jory Cassel was a captain in Lord Eddard Stark's household guards in Winterfell. He's extremely loyal and trusted servant of House Starks and a good swordsman and warrior. He is a nephew of Ser Rodrik Cassel, who's the dude with the mutton chops that are so long that he ties them and they become a beard. Yeah, they evolve their way out of mutton chops and into a beard. Either die mutton chops or live long. All right, I'll stop with that joke. All right, he fought at the Siege of Pike during the Greyjoy Rebellion alongside Jaime Lannister and Thoros of Myr, where he gained a noticeable scar from one of the Greyjoys that nearly took out his eye. That's foreshadowing. Jory joins Eddard in his retinue as they venture to execute Will. To the guy we just covered. Clicking random stuff now. We just covered Waymar Royce. So if you want to know who Will is in Geralt of the books and why he's being executed, you'll learn there. Go check it out. All right. So he goes with the Stark family to go execute Will or watch Ned do it. And he is with the group when they find the direwolf pups. Jory later accompanies Eddard south to King's Landing. During the dispute between Joffrey and Arya, on the way there, Jory reports that Arya has been found and taken before the king, ending in a mock trial and Sansa's direwolf's execution. Yeah, oof. They killed the wrong direwolf, too. Jory accompanies Ed to the crossroads, Nedard, if you will. I don't know why I call him Ed. No one ever calls him Ed. He's Ned. And listens to King Robert question everybody, right? Talks to everybody. And Queen Cersei convinces him to sentence Sansa's direwolf lady to death, despite her not being involved at all with Arya's wolf Nymeria. And yeah, because the wolf can't be found. So they can't find Nymeria, who bit Joffrey, the little snot. And instead they're like, all right, well, kill the direwolf. Why not? So yeah, so they just killed a different one, which is sad. Eddard asks Jory to look after Arya and Sansa while he attends the execution, yeah, as he goes and takes care of it. It's pretty sad. All right, show fight outside the brothel. So Jory insists Eddie's, I'm going to just go with Eddie, Edward's investigation into John Aaron's final days, unsuccessfully asking for the assistance of Sir Hugh of the Vale, who mocks him for not being a knight. Sir Hugh, I can't even talk. Sir Hugh. I thought about like adding Sir Hugh to the list of possible characters, and if somebody wants that, ask. But like, I looked over his book version, I looked over his show version, and there's pretty much no difference. I don't think anyone who's only seen the show will learn anything from it. And he's just around for like a scene. He's just kind of a pompous jerk who dies, right? So, but if that's something you're interested in, let me know. By the way, I do doo-doo often. I hope you do as well, because it is healthy to doo-doo. But I also do a poll after I get the next 4 of my A Song of Ice and Fire differences done, filmed. I then ask my YouTube which ones I should do next, and they essentially just pick the order of my next 4. And Jory is the tippity top of this batch, if you will. So if you've never done that, pay attention. Subscribe if you're not and you watch my videos, because I post to the community on my community page every single day, and I do polls. I do quizzes now every day. I used to do just polls every day, and now I definitely do that every 4 weeks, or not every 4 weeks. It'd be every 8 weeks, kind of, because I do these every other whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. This is the guy you wanted. That's what I'm trying to get at. Go vote. Vote, period. All right. So yeah, he's not a knight. Accompanying Eddard to Tobo Mott's smithy, and later reminiscing over fighting the Greyjoy rebellion with Jamie. Yeah, this is where you kind of get the first name drop of Thoros of Myr when they're talking, which is actually funny. He's like, "Oh, you were there at the Siege of Pike," and Jory's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Do you remember, who broke through?" And he's, "Yeah, Thoros, the flaming sword. I'll never forget that." Like, I don't have the quote, but yeah, that's like something that's said, and it's pretty fun, because Jamie is talking about a place where he once got a scar and almost lost his eye. Jamie is talking to him about how he almost lost his. Okay, you guys get it. All right. Jory accompanies. I mean, the picture's right there. Jory accompanies Eddard to Peter Baelish's brothel, still seeking illegitimate royal children. Jory is distracted by one of the sex workers while Eddard questions Megan, as they walk outside, accompanied by 2 Stark guards, Heward and Will. They are confronted by Jamie Lannister and many Lannister men-at-arms. Jamie has heard that his brother Tyrion is arrested and demands his release. I demand his release. He doesn't sound like that at all. I demand his release. Jamie Lannister. Eddard says that it was done by his orders because he's trying to take some of the blame off his wife, who's having a bit of a crisis. And if Jamie kills him, Tyrion will die. Yeah. He's like, "You have my brother." It's like, then why are you threatening me? I have a hostage. What are we doing? What are we doing here, Jamie? It's like, well, does your ankle need a hostage? I don't know. He gets stabbed in the ankle. Jory begins to tell Jamie that if he threatens Eddard again, there will certainly be a fight. Yeah, he says that there will be blood, which is a movie. However, Jamie interrupts Jory, and he orders his men-at-arms to leave Eddard alive, but to kill his men. They easily spear Heward. Why isn't it just Howard? And Will. Jory attacks and kills 2 of Jamie's men before engaging Jamie Lannister himself. And Jamie and Jory trap swords, Jamie stabs Jory through his left eye with a dirk. Ouch. Youch. Eddard, angered and stunned by Jory's death, exchanges blows with Jamie. And before the Lannister guardsmen stab him through the thigh, ending the melee. Yeah, like another Lannister comes up and stabs Ned during the fight. And Jamie's like, "Well, you ruined it. It's not a fair fight anymore. I'm leaving." because, you know, the guy who killed the king once has honor. Now, I know why he killed the king. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think that was kind of one of the first hints that Jamie Lannister isn't an honorless monster. I mean, he already did push a kid out a window after he was having relations with his sister. Man, you gotta love it, man. You gotta love this book series. All right. Book. Jory Cassel. Jory is a member of House Cassel and the captain of a household guard at Winterfell for House Stark. Jory is the son of Martyn Cassel, who we talked about earlier, and the nephew of Ser Rodrik Cassel, who I also talked about, the master at arms at Winterfell. Jory has a wry smile, which he often shows to Arya Stark. Yeah, he's really nice to Arya. We'll get through that. And he jokes while eating the Great Hall at Winterfell. Yeah, he likes to make jokes. Sansa Stark thinks he is less handsome than Alan, who I also have covered. Check out Alan. Yeah, actually I covered a lot of Stark men lately, because I covered Harwin, Alan, and now Jory. So yeah, pretty cool. Sansa Stark, yeah, all right, I already said that. The captain is a skilled warrior and confidant of Lord Eddard Stark, and Jory's armor includes a mail, unadorned blue-gray plate. He wears a thin cloak and wields a sword. Yeah, Jory's cool. I like Jory. Let's talk about the past before the books. During Robert's Rebellion, again, I've talked about this already, Jory attended the wedding of Catelyn. Well, I didn't talk about this. Catelyn and Lysa at the at River Run. So, yeah, I don't know why I just wrote Catelyn and Lysa Tully, because they weren't getting married together. They're sisters. No, Catelyn is marrying Ned, and Lysa is marrying Jon Arryn. During the bedding custom, Jory ripped Catelyn's gown in haste. Jory, what are you doing ripping her gown? At the end of the war, Jory's father died fighting alongside Eddie and in the combat at the Tower of Joy, which I already talked about a couple times now. So, yeah, I mean, if you want a really small difference that I don't bring up later, doesn't Catelyn in the show, I don't have this prepared, but doesn't she say oh, we didn't have a bedding because Ned thought that it would have been wrong to break somebody's jaw on the wedding night, or something, she said something really awesome like that, but no, they had one. And I think Desmond Grell keeps making inappropriate jokes and then immediately apologizing to her. Hey, yeah, it's beddings sound awful, but they made this one kind of funny. All right, that's all I'm getting at. Awful, horrible custom. I'm not in favor of a bedding. Jory has served as Lord Eddard's captain of the guards for more than 8 years. Jory once brought Robb Stark, Bran Stark, and Jon Snow into the Wolveswood to fish for trout in a rushing stream near Winterfell. Yeah, he took the boys fishing. That's awesome. I love that. I love that about this guy. Robb and Jon have often hunted in the forest with their father and Jory, and the captain has also sparred in Winterfell's yard with Robb, Jon, and Theon. Yeah. He doesn't take Theon fishing or hunting, though. So there we go. A laughing Jory once pulled apart Sansa and Arya Stark when the sisters were having a snowball fight after a summer's snow. God, it snows in the summer where you guys are? Jeez. Jory has chased Bran across roofs in Winterfell on multiple occasions. I mean, where was he that one day? But yeah, he was out hunting. I'm about to cover that. Guard in Winterfell at the start of the books. Yeah, it's brand new. This is not the, there's the prologue, but then after that, there is chapter 1, and this is chapter 1. Jory accompanies Lord Eddard Stark to witness the execution of Geralt. When the party finds direwolves in the snow while returning home, he claims that it's an omen that the direwolf had an antler stuck in its throat and that the pups had been born after the mother had died. That's I don't know, man. That kind of gives me the not good Ghiblies, the Ghiblies, right? All right, as a part of the plans for the feast for King Robert I Baratheon's honor, when good old Robbie comes up to the north. They do like a feast, right? Eddard plans to send Jory south to meet Robert in the King's Road with an honor guard and then help, hey, follow me, I'm Jory. That's what he talks like, I guess. Jory joins Robert's hunt for a boar before the king departs Winterfell to the south. He has gone with Bran he's gone when Bran gets pushed off the broken tower by Jamie. That's what we talked about earlier. And that's also Jory's not there to chase him across rooftops. Jory going out hunting. This is why the whole book happens. It's your fault, Jory. No, it's not. I'm kidding. All right. Arya and Nymeria. Jory accompanies Lord Stark south to King's Landing and as his captain of the guard. Yeah. After the incident at the Trident, where Arya Stark's direwolf Nymeria assaults Joffrey, that little crapbag Lannister, Arya runs away. Yeah, because her direwolf attacked. I mean, the direwolf didn't just attack Joffrey. All right, everybody knows that, right? Joffrey's being a little butthole, and he's like hitting like somebody like the butcher's boy, and Arya's like tells him to stop, and then the wolf's like, hey dude, I do what Arya wants, and Arya wants you bits, so and yeah, and then pretty much is the start of the divide between the Baratheons and the Starks. Okay. God, is my improv off today or really on today? I can't decide. Ned is relieved. Okay, where was I? After 4 days of searching, which is something no one ever really talks about how it's she's gone for 4 days. That's a long time. Valon Poole comes to it, Ned, with the news that Arya has been found unharmed. Excuse me. Ned is relieved that it was Jory who found her rather than Queen Cersei's men. Unfortunately, the Lannister guards at the gate informed the queen, who had Arya brought directly before King Robert. So yeah, he doesn't get to her first, right? Ned rushes to the audience chamber in the nearby Castle Derry to see the king. And if you want a video about House Derry, especially at this time, Raymond Derry, I covered Raymond Derry a little while ago, and he's there for this whole thing. And it's kind of like an awkward moment because the Derrys are like fiercely Targaryen loyalists. And yeah, they do like this little mock trial at there. And I bet the whole time Derry's like, can this king who I don't even like get out of here? He's looking at his watch. I don't have a watch, and neither does him. So that doesn't really make sense. All right. Where was I? So to see the king at Castle Derry, where this mock trial. So when Sansa claims that she does not remember, which is something that Arya forever hates her for, Queen Cersei demands the death of the direwolf with Nymeria gone. So because Nymeria ran off, right? We don't know about it yet, but Nymeria ran off. Lady is sentenced to death instead. Sad. All right. So as a guard for the new hand of the king, Jory receives a new cloak. Heavy gray wool with a white satin border. That sounds like a nice cloak. Later in King's Landing, Jory is having dinner with the Stark girls and the rest of the household. And this is when Ned is at a council meeting. Arya is very unhappy with everyone. Yeah, she kind of blames everybody for what happened at the Trident. Ned arrives from a small council meeting, and Jory Cassel asks the talk in the yard. Wait, what was that? Was I doing a voice? Man, Omen, was it like this? Do you guys want me to do that? The talk of the yard is that we shall have a tourney, my lord. No, that doesn't fit Jory at all. What about this? Yeah, I like this. The talk of the yard is that we're going to have a tourney, my lord. They say that knights will come from all around the realm just to joust and feast in your honor, in your appointment, the hand of the king. I don't know if I like that one either. And Eddard asks if anyone is actually talking about the hand's displeasure with the whole idea. Yeah, Ned doesn't want this freaking tourney, and it's in his honor. And he's like, well, honor me some other way. After Ned left, Jory laughed at a joke, and Holland, Harwin's dad, is talking about horses, I guess, right? So Jory and Nymeria. So we're going to have a little bit of a flashback here in a sec. So after the dinner, Arya goes to her room and she digs out her thing. Why did I write it that way? the needle. She digs out the sword, right? But Ned catches her with the sword, and her father notices Micken's mark on the blade and remarks that his 9-year-old daughter can be armed from his own forge without his knowledge. How can he be expected to rule the 7 kingdoms? Yeah, he's like, if my own daughter can steal my weapons, what are we doing? She tells how she was trying to learn, and sadly adds that she asked Micah to practice with her, right? And he was the butcher's boy who gets killed, who got killed back at the Trident. In grief, she starts to sob in her father's chest. So he like holds her because he's a good dad. He tells her that Micah's death was not her fault. Arya sobs and thinks that she hates them all: the queen, the hound, Joffrey, the king. Then she adds that Joffrey lied and that she also hates Sansa. Neddard says, well, all lie, right? Because she's like, well, Sansa lied, and she's really mad about it. So Ned's like, well, all lie, like himself, right? Because Jon Snow's parentage, but whatever. Or did you truly think that I'd believe that Nymeria ran off? So then she exclaims that Jory, who we're talking about, promised not to tell. And Eddard informs her Jory kept his word. Yeah, I like this. Jory was part of Nymeria running away and didn't tell anybody, but Ned was able to suss it out. And that he figured it all out because even a blind man could tell that a wolf would, well, sorry about these yawns, but that the wolf would not have left willingly. Arya explains how she and Jory had to throw rocks at the dire wolf to drive the wolf away, and how Jory reassured Arya that the wolves would have plenty of game for the dire wolf to hunt. Well, plenty of game. Dude, those woods were so great that she starts her own wolf street gang, and she's like a couple hundred strong, and she just run around with a giant, huge pack of wolves. That's a thing. Nymeria is a wolf queen. Anyways, like the one from Skyrim. You guys remember the wolf queen? All right. Arya then explains, okay, I already said that part. Yeah, they would have plenty of game to hunt. She then asks her father if she did the right thing, and Eddard ensures her that she did. So yeah, what did I say there? Well, Jory, in the scene of her scaring away Nymeria and throwing rocks at her, Jory's with her doing that in the books, which I think is really cool, and we find out in this cool like flashback way. So let's keep going because we're already at 23 minutes and we got a lot left. Investigation. Jory aids Eddard in the investigation of the death of his predecessor. After the court meeting adjourns, Jory arrives and briefs Ned on his interview with one of Jon's stable boys, the last of the 4 leads provided by Littlefinger. We're going to get through all the leads. Hugh the Vale proved broche, and arrogant and uninformative. Yeah, Hugh of the Vale's a jerk. The servant girl could only say that Jon Arryn had been reading too much and concerned about his son's frailty. Yeah. Meanwhile, the pot boy, this is the third clue, only was able to provide lots of kitchen gossip, including Lord Stannis had accompanied Lord Arryn to meet an armorer about elaborate new armor. And then the stable boy, the first one that we mentioned and now the last one that we hear about, the stable boy, the fourth of the informants, proves to be very informative. He swears that Lord Arryn was as strong as a man half his age and often went riding with Lord Stannis. Then Ned finds this strange because Jon and Stannis were never friendly. He's like, why would Stannis and Jon Arryn be hanging out? Jory says that the stable boy also claims that they visited a brothel together. Whoa, what are they partying? What are they doing? Unfortunately, the boy did not know which one. Only the guards that escorted them would know, and that they have taken all of them back to the Eyrie with Lady Lysa. Yeah. So the reason why there's only 4 leads here is because Lysa took all the Arryn household back to the Eyrie, but just left the one stable boy, the one kitchen boy, all the ones I've just said, right? So yeah. So Ned finds that Stannis visiting a brothel very strange. He's like, yeah, he wouldn't visit a brothel. That Stannis's name keeps coming up, and that he left the city with no word that he will return vexes Ned. He's like, yeah, why do we keep talking about Stannis? And he just left randomly, right? He wonders why Stannis would leave and decides that something must have frightened him, yet Ned cannot imagine what it could be. Could have frightened Stannis, right? Both Ned and Jory find it frustrating that everyone that might know the truth is already thousands of leagues away. Yeah, the mystery got away from them. Brothels and attorneys. When Jory asks if Ned will call Stannis back from Dragonstone, Ned says not yet. Ned plans to visit an armorer himself, but decides to wear his doublet and direwolf sigil. So the armorer will know who he is. And Jory dresses him, right? Because I guess that's his job. Is that something the captain of the guard does? Ned wonders why Renly was not invited on the rides, right? Ned tells Jory that it would be good if Stannis returned for the tourney, but Jory's response makes Ned think that more certain that Stannis will not. He also wonders why Lord Aaron would have been interested in a showy armor when he had always considered armor something more for protection, not for ornament. He's like, yeah, those two guys specifically trying to look for like showy armor feels weird, right? Jory asks, is there any other service I might perform? And Ned tells him that he better start visiting brothels, which Jory jokingly says, hard duty, my lord. Hard duty. All right. So, yeah. During the tourney, Jory Cassel in drab armor wins over Ser Horace Redwine. So now we're at the hand tourney, right? The hands tourney. So he beats Horace Redwine in one of the frays, but then Jory loses a well-fought third match to the free rider known as Luthor Bruin, the Apple Eater. I've done a video for the Apple Eater. When King Robert judges Bruin's lance to have been sturdier and better placed. So, yeah, so it came down to like judgment, right? And the king had to pick one, and he picked Bruin. The other contestants from Winterfell do not fare as well. Yeah, they all do pretty bad. Sir Hugh of the Vale is killed by Sir Gregor Clegane in the list. Yep, well, there goes that lead. Jory wakes Eddard in the middle of the night to inform him that Robert intends to fight in the melee. That's the whole thing. And Ned and Sir Barristan Selmy have to convince the king not to do that. Yeah, don't fight in a melee. Wow, we're almost already at 30 minutes. Let's keep going. A fight in the streets. Jory accompanies Lord Eddard to Chataya's brothel to find one of Robert's bastards, Bara. As they ride back towards the Red Keep in the rain, suddenly they are surrounded by at least 20 Lannister guardsmen. 20 Lannisters serve 20 Goodmans, right? Actually, just one Lannister serve 20 Goodmen. Jamie Lannister rides up and declares that he is looking for his brother, who apparently had some trouble on the road. Ned tells him that Catelyn took Tyrion prisoner to answer for his crimes. This causes Littlefinger to groan because Littlefinger's in dismay, and Jamie to move forward and draw his sword. So Jamie demands that Ned show his steel, declaring that he will butcher Ned, but prefers for Ned to fight back. Jamie then suggests Littlefinger to leave if he does not want blood on his expensive clothes. Littlefinger needs no urging. He's like, yeah, dude, I'm not going to be here for this fight, but ensures that Ned that he will bring the city watch. The Stark guardsmen have drawn their swords as well, but it's 3 against 20. So Ned reminds Jamie that if he dies, Catelyn will kill Tyrion. Yeah, oof. So Jamie does not believe him and is unwilling to chance it. So he tells his men to not harm Ned. Jamie refuses to leave Ned entirely unchased, by the way. So he orders Ned's guardsmen killed. Yeah, ooh. So Ned and his men are quickly overwhelmed, and Heward and Will, the same people, are cut down. Jory manages to break free, but almost immediately is killed. In the confusion, Ned's horse slips and falls, and Ned is blinded by the pain in his leg breaking. Yeah, Ned's horse falls on his leg. Ouch. After the Lannisters depart, an injured Ned cradles Jory's body in the street. Yeah, that's really sad. We're almost done. We got 2 slides left. One's really short, and then the last one's also really short because it's the differences. So, burial and memories. So, Lord Stark appoints Alan as Jory's replacement, who I've covered, right? Ned sends Jory's body to the Silent Sisters so they can prepare it for burial. And at Winterfell, besides the grave of his grandfather. Yeah, but not for Martyn, because Martyn's not there. Following the capture at Winterfell, Theon Greyjoy sees Jory while having a nightmare and a feast. Jory is among those whom Sansa Stark sings during the Battle of Blackwater. And after returning to Winterfell as a prisoner of House Bolton, Theon recalls Jory and the other people in the castle that have since died. So yeah, those are all the people who remembered him. So let's get to the differences. You guys still there? You still awake? You doing good? All right. Differences. Oddly, not many. The scenes he are in are slightly different, but they mostly stick to the story. They kind of do pretty good with Jory Cassel, all things considered, compared to other characters. The biggest change is him being there to help scare off Nymeria with Arya, right? That's a very big change. Arya does it by herself in the show, so that's probably his biggest change. And the fight with Jamie in the street is different, with Ned having his horse fall on him in the book and not just a random dude spearing him in the leg, right? Besides that, it's another case of them kind of nailing season 1 characters. So yeah, they do pretty good with season 1 characters did very well when it came to adapting. It wasn't until the further on characters where like halfway through the show they were a little off, and then at the end of the show there was like nothing to do with them, right? So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I did it under 40 minutes. Yes. And yeah, what'd you guys think of Jory Cassel? Pretty big character for somebody who's only in 1 book and 1 season, who doesn't make it out of those. He's got a lot. So yeah, I like Jory. He's got a good, I like the cut of his jib, if you will. So yeah, click like, subscribe if you haven't. Tell me what you think of a Jory Cassel in the comments. And yeah, let me know what other character you want me to cover the difference of. I kind of have to jump through a lot of hoops. So if it's too big, I can't do it. If it's too small, I can't do it. But yeah, it's kind of running out. I do have more. Don't worry. I do have more coming up. But yeah. So yeah, peace.